It has been a month since I posted the first video after repurposing this channel. If you have been putting high expectation to the stock market during the past 1 month, you might be very disappointed. Even though we have been anticipating a market recovery, especially the technology sector, things are not as glorious as we want it to be. The Nasdaq did break a new high last month, which is good, but the stock selection has been very tricky. And since it is May right now, I thought I should make an update video and update my thoughts on the stock market from a trend follower's perspective. What is up everyone, this is Jin Hao. Thank you for tuning into this video and I wish you are doing well. Here in my channel, I share my personal opinions and experience on my journey in trading, investing, personal finance, or stock and market analysis just like this one. So if you're new here and you are interested in these topics, consider subscribing. In this video, I'll be sharing with you my thoughts and analysis on the current US stock market, how I think about it, what I would be watching, and if you stay until the end of this video, I will also be sharing with you what are the stocks that I'll be watching closely at least for this month. These are not buy calls, but there could potentially be great candidates to be put in your watch list. But before we proceed further, as usual, here's the disclaimer. I'm not a licensed financial advisor and I'm not licensed to give you any financial advice. Whatever I share in this video are solely based on my very personal opinion and experience. Stocks and securities mentioned in this video are solely for educational purposes only and they are not buy or sell solicitations. I should also point out that this watch list is a non-exhaustive list, so the mentioned stocks are not the only stocks that I'm watching. I'm sharing things and making commentaries from a perspective of a position trader or a trend follower. So you may or may not be a position trader, so take my words as a reference or second opinion instead of an advice. So now let's move on. Nasdaq recovery has been something that we anticipate to happen as the Dow and S&P 500 has been trading at their all-time highs. On the second last trading day of last month, which is 29th of April, Nasdaq finally created a new all-time high, but it did not manage to close higher than that after breaking the high, as some of the heavy-weighted Nasdaq components like Apple and Microsoft were not doing well during the last 2 days of April. And yes, these two companies weigh pretty heavily in the Nasdaq index. Is this a bad thing? In my opinion, not really. At least the Nasdaq created a new all-time high and overall, the primary trend is still an uptrend, suggesting that it has higher probability to go higher. Despite the Nasdaq's successful recovery, stock selection has been really tricky. Personally, I have been watching semiconductor stocks very closely during last month, but things just do not go well. Stocks that I anticipate a breakout did not successfully give me a breakout pattern to even establish my positions. The other candidates within these sectors are still yet to take off. Does this mean that they are going to be bad? Not really. Overall, the trend is still up and there are still plenty of uptrending stocks that trend followers can watch. After putting them in your watch list, the rest is a waiting game, waiting for a setup that you like before establishing positions. And this is true for most technology stocks, not limited to only the semiconductor subsector. The most performing stock in my portfolio for these few months is actually Ally Financials, which is a financial stock. In April alone, this stock went up by more than 14%, exclude the dividend. I never thought that a finance stock would become one of the performers in my portfolio because throughout my entire journey as a trend follower, the financial sector has been a non-performing sector most of the time. As for this stock, I'm still holding it, and what I would be doing is basically move out my trailing stop. For those who are not in this stock, it would be better to wait for a retracement before deciding whether or not you want to establish a new position or look into other candidates within this sector. I started to keep an eye on this sector earlier this year as many of the candidates in this sector are trending upward, and for now, the trend is still up for a lot of the finance-related stocks. Not all are having great pattern, but many of them are in an uptrend, including the popular ones like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. One stock that caught my attention lately is called T. Rowe Price, stock code TROW. It is an investment management firm in the US. To me, the trend of the stock is really nice. Depending on your style of trading, this might be one of the stocks that you want to put in your watch list. Apart from the financial sector, some of the tourism-related stocks are still in a very good uptrend. such as some hospitality stocks like Hilton, MGM, Red Rod Resorts, and tourism services stocks like Booking and Expedia. The primary trend is still up, but I have to say that they are not as strong as before. It might not be pleasant to hold these stocks right now, as most of them are either sluggish in moving or they have increased volatility. Personally, I will position out if it fell to break a new high, perhaps maybe this month. Looking at the current market situation right now, I still do not think that it is the right time to trade aggressively, at least from a trend follower or position trader's perspective. For me, I will focus on stocks that are in great uptrends across different sectors like financial, technology, or even consumer stocks like Starbucks or McDonald's. I'm not putting high expectation for the month of May, partly to manage my emotion a little bit towards the stock market. However, there are two stocks that worth watching for May. In my opinion, great setups for these two stocks may take some time to form, so definitely keep in the watch list first. The first stock is Nvidia. After a long sideway, it tried to break out during February and fell, creating a bigger range for the sideway. Fortunately, the primary trend is still up, and last month, it broke a new high again. Right now, it is pulling back to a very good support zone, I would say. If it can successfully rebound from where it is right now, this is definitely going to be interesting. The second stock is Tesla. Ever since the last correction in February, this has not been a really great candidate for trading as it is weak in the short to mid-term. However, it is worth mentioning that since March, Tesla has formed a series of higher lows, which may indicate that sellers are not willing to sell lower. The second part of the equation would be waiting it to form a series of higher highs or break the counter trend line. This recovery is perhaps what many people would anticipate. Now, these two stocks are quite heavily weighted in Nasdaq as well. If these two stocks are doing well, expect some other stocks within the subsectors would be positively influenced as well, especially Tesla. So that will be all for this video, and I hope that you have learned something from this video. It's rather short. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to smash the like button. In the upcoming video, I might be sharing some cryptocurrency analysis from a technical perspective, as the cryptocurrency market is lit lately. And in fact, percentage-wise, my crypto portfolio is doing slightly better last month compared to my stock portfolio. So if you're into this, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Hopefully, this is going to be a great month for all of us, and may the market be with us. Bye for now, and see you in the next video.